Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. Today I want to collect seeds with you. There are a lot of things around the garden that have started to go to seed that I want to collect. So I just thought I would take you guys around, and then I show you different plants and the seeds that they have. We'll be collecting for sure petunia seeds. Petunias are so easy to start from seed. I start petunias from seed every single year, and they grow into big, beautiful plants. So, what? I don't even know what I was saying. What is going on, girls? I don't even know. Let's collect some seeds, but first I'm going to show you guys kind of the things that I use to collect seeds. So a pair of pruners, which I don't really have now, to cut off seed heads. They're somewhere in the garden, like I left them somewhere that way, and we'll grab them. But so I don't always have the perfect specific products to do certain things, so I have workarounds. So for collecting seeds, I like to use Ziploc bags, and then I take a paper towel and put it in that Ziploc bag to help absorb moisture so that my seeds aren't rotting if they still have moisture to them. Certain seed heads, if they're not completely dry when you're harvesting them, that can make germination a little bit more difficult. You might have less germination rates if your seeds aren't completely dry upon harvest or upon storage. So a lot of times, like if my seeds are completely dry, then I will go ahead and use the Ziploc and stick in a paper towel. If my seeds are not dry, then I will let them sit out, just depending on how long they need. Usually it's about a week to allow things to completely dry out. I also use, and these I got from Amazon, probably like 2 years ago. It came with a bunch, but these little brown little envelopes. So I put seeds in here. Anything that is completely dry goes directly in here. And these are so nice because you can write on them. You can make labels for them and stick them on there. They're super cute. I have a couple different, I have this small size, and then I have a larger size. It is egg laying. It's an egg laying time of day right now, so they're all worked up, laying eggs. I have one broody Silky who's not laying, but she wants to lay on eggs. For anyone who thinks that having chickens is like having hens, it's quiet, and that roosters are loud, it's not the roosters that you need to worry. It's the hens. They are loud, and anytime they lay, they are going to do this. So I have a Silky who's very broody, and I want to show you guys her. I'm going to take her out of the nest box so somebody else can use the nest box. So this is Powder Poof. She is very, very broody, and I just took her out of the nest box. Hi, honey. You want to stand here? It's okay. It's okay, sweetie. She's so upset because I have not been letting her stay in the nest box because she's broody and she needs to come out and eat sometimes. So basically for her, all I do is just, every couple hours I'll come out, take her out, put her in through the front so she can eat and drink. But other than that, like, I don't do anything extreme to break her broodiness. I feel like she'll come out of it on her own when she's ready. As long as she's eating and drinking, I'm not gonna like fuss with her too much. But can you show your face, honey? She's a naked neck Silky. And she's fussy, little Miss Fuss Pants. Can we get you back in there? Anytime I come out to the garden to do anything, I feel like the chickens always like distract me, and they take like a top spot in anything. Like they get a spot in the video if I'm filming out here, like because they're loud and they demand attention. There's Poofy girl getting some water. Agatha, leave her alone. That's Agatha, she's top hen. And they're always kind of picking on little Poofy girl because she's small and she's sweet. But there she is. Agatha, she's gonna pick her. So here's a petunia that I sowed from seed earlier this year. It's beautiful purple flowers. And then down at the stem, this is a seed pod here. And you want to wait until this dries out, like right here. And in there, you can tell that it's cracked. So some of the seeds have come out of there already. But you've got this one here that's ready, this one, and that one. So let me get one of my baggies and we'll dump those seeds in there very carefully. So I've got my paper towel. And I'm just gonna fold it over like this. Stick it in my baggie. Like that. And then I went and found my pruner, so I'm gonna go and cut off those seed heads. So what I do now is I just open the bag and then cut those seed heads so they fall into the bag and I'm not losing any seeds to the ground. My gosh, would they stop fighting? These chickens are fighting non-stop today. It's driving me insane. I don't want to have to like remove anybody, but goodness, I might have to take the queen bee out and parade her around, give her a break so the other ones can kind of have a nice day. So I'm just cutting off all of the seed pods off of this plant that are ready to go. So now if you look, you can see all of these petunia seeds. There are a lot of seeds per pod, so you'll get a ton. Now I have my, now you'll see I still have the green outer areas, and those will eventually fall off as the green parts dry out more. So what I'll do is I'll leave the bag open like this to allow more air in there to dry things out. So right here we have canna lily seeds, and I did share in another video how I collect these seeds. But as you can see, after the flower dies, you get this green seed pod that starts to develop. And then as those seeds get ready to be harvestable, the seed pod turns brown like this. All of that green turns very pliable. It falls right off. So this is the point where you want to harvest. So I'll just cut this little pod off. If you wait too long, they do fall out of here. So I'll just grab these and then we'll go back and take a look at them. Stick them in here for now. Okay, so I've got the canna lily seeds. Now let me just open the pod for you so you can see. This is what the pod looks like. And then usually they're already split, but you can see that nice seed in there. You don't want to harvest these before the pod is dry, because you know once the pod is dry, that's how you know that the seeds are fully cured and ready to be grown. So for canna lilies, I have probably about 50% success rate at growing from seed. One thing that you want to make sure that you do is to scar the seed. And by doing that, you can just go and scrape the seed on like the sidewalk and you will scar the seed, or you can use a file, or you can use a nail clipper. You know, there's so many ways that you can, hang on, scar these seeds. Dropping. Okay, seeds. Okay, here you go. So there are many ways to scar that seed coat, but you definitely want to do that before you start these. So here's what I do. If you want to start canna seeds, scar the seed coat, then soak the seeds in water for 24 hours, then sow them in seed starting mix. And that is your best chance at germinating canna lily seeds. So I've got a plant here that you guys might not have thought about collecting seeds from. I know this year was the first year that I actually sowed these seeds, that I actually found out that I could buy these seeds. So earlier this year, I bought and sowed my own begonias. I didn't even know that begonia seeds were a thing. I mean, I assume that there's begonia seeds out there somewhere, but I bought begonia seeds and I sowed my own this year, and they are so beautiful and gorgeous, and they sprouted so easily. They grew so well. Mind you, they did grow a little bit slower, but they grew. And so I decided this year that I would try to collect my own begonia seeds. So right here, I actually have a begonia plant that I bought from Aldi. It's a hanging basket, and I bought several of them. So I decided, let me see if I can find some seeds to harvest and save for next year, because I would love to, like, my ultimate goal of all time, of every single year, is to grow as many of my annuals as possible from seed, and to grow all of my vegetables from seed, as many as I possibly can, as many as I need. Let me change that to as many annuals that I need to fill in the spaces that I want to fill, and as many vegetables that I need. I don't want to grow like obscene amounts where I don't even have any place to put them, but I want to grow enough so that I can fill in the spaces that I need to fill in and not have to go to the store to buy them. So that's the goal, and that's why I save seeds every year. I do buy seeds every year, but I'm still building my stockpile. So let me show you this begonia and show you how to look for the seeds and the seed pods. This is the only variety that I've been able to find seeds on. The seeds that I sow, the begonias, I'll show you those, and we'll look for seed pods on those too. So right here is our begonia flower. Here is our begonia seed pod. It is not ready to be harvested, but this is what it looks like. Here's more seed pods. Here, here, here. And once they've dried, they look like this. And then at this point, they are ready to be harvested. Now, when they're dry, you can store them in, the Ziploc with the paper towel, or you can store them in the paper envelope. However you prefer to store seeds, you can do that. So I just find it so cool that I can harvest my own begonia seeds and sow them for next year. This is very exciting for me, because it's my first year ever, sowing begonias. So here's my bag of begonia seeds. You can see a little bit of the seeds have fallen out. They are so very tiny. And to sow something like this, it might be better just to use a flat tray and just sprinkle the seeds all over that tray. And once you get germination, once your seedlings get a set of true leaves, then you can transplant them to individual pots. But when you have seeds this tiny, it is almost impossible to sow them in separate containers. So here are some of the begonias that I sowed from seed this year. We've got one here. This one here that's in bloom and stunning. Look at that. Gorgeous foliage. We've got one here. Stunning. One there. This one here. And I haven't been able to find any seed pods on these this year so far, but I'm still gonna keep looking. I'm sure maybe I'll take this flower and just keep an eye on it and see what happens. I'm guessing the blooms are getting swiped by something, so then I'm not getting that process of them turning to seed for me where I can collect. But let's go check out my other begonias around that I grew from seed. Okay, so here's one here, and I definitely see this is where the seed pod is here. So I'm going to keep an eye on this and see if I can't follow up and collect seeds from this. Gorgeous, gorgeous begonia. Here's a little one hiding that I started from seed. There's more down there, hiding behind the brunnera. So here's my nasturtium plant, and while I don't have any seeds that are ready to harvest because they are still very green, this is a nasturtium seed, and this whole thing is the seed. So you get two seeds here. This is a seed, this is a seed. As it dries up, you'll be able to just pop this right off and store it in any manner that you wish to store. But this plant has a lot of seeds that are getting ready, that are in the process of drying out. So definitely if you're growing nasturtium, you should save seeds. I have nasturtium popping up in my garden from seeds that fell on the ground last year and are coming back. Here's Nasturtium Mountain. I started this from just putting seeds in the ground in my raised bed, all grown from seed, and this is probably like 6 to 7 seeds, and it just fills up this whole space. So this bloom here is Cardinal Climber, and it is a climbing vine that I have been really enjoying in my garden, and it's climbing all over this hydrangea, and I think the contrast of the blooms and the contrast of foliage is so beautiful. But here is the seed pod for the Cardinal Climber, and once this dries out, it'll have seeds in there for you to collect. Look how beautiful this is, like just stunning. More nasturtium seeds. I can't quite remember the name of this flower, so I'll put it on the screen. But here are the blooms. Hummingbirds love them. And then the seed pods are down here. So when these would dry up, that's when I'd be able to collect the seed. Okay, so I want to share with you guys, I love growing poppies. I love the seed pods for this. They're so cool. They're fun for kids to harvest because they are just so cool. So I'm in a whole different outfit. It is the next day. I ended up getting like starting to feel sick, so I just like stopped doing the video and went in and had some R&R. But anyways, so for the poppy seeds, I like to use this bag here with the paper towel and the Ziploc. But let me show you. So what's fun about the poppy seed pods, it's right here. I'm gonna cut this off. But there are two ways to know when they're ready to harvest. One, if you shake it and you hear the seeds rattling. Let me see if I can get that sound. Well, because I have the microphone on. Can you hear that? And then you can tell by the openings up here. See how that top portion is opened? And I'm going to show you one over here that is not opened. And then you'll be able to see the difference in the two. Something just fell out of the sky onto me. Okay, so collecting the poppy seeds, I just do this. I don't know why this one is so much fun, but I just take it, dump it upside down, and just spin it like this. You will get hundreds of seeds from one pod depending on the size. So this one's a smaller one. I've already harvested most of the poppy seeds in my garden, and these two over here are the last of the bunch. So usually I do this, and then I go ahead and leave that in there for a bit, just in case there's some that I have not, that did not come out during the shaking process. So you can see all the seeds down here. This is a lot of seeds. So poppies are definitely worth growing and harvesting seeds from, because they just offer up so many seeds. So now that we've harvested what we need to harvest over here, this last poppy will be harvested as soon as it's ready. Let's head over to the cut flower space and see if there's anything that we can harvest over there. So I kind of hit a little jackpot over here. I was walking past the head to the cut flower space, and I forgot that I had petunias over here too, and I found a bunch of seed pods over here that I can collect, and I'm so excited because a lot of these were, well, a couple of these were my pirouette petunias, which is the petunia that I really, really want to have seeds from this year. So I'm going to go ahead and collect these seeds and put them in the same bag that I have already collected petunias from. So right here is my moonflower bush, not vine, and this has some seed pods on it, and they're not ready to harvest, but I want to show you what they look like. They're spiky. They kind of look like sort of like an acorn, but once they dry up, I'll be harvesting these to regrow. I grew this from seed this year, and there's a couple of plants in this space here, but I'm so excited to have these again, and I think I want to grow them in my front garden next year. So here's the cut flower space. So let me show you a few flowers in here and what you should look for when you're ready to harvest seed. I don't think I'll be harvesting any seeds from here today, but in the next few days I will be doing that once things start to really dry down. Let's start right here with this dahlia. And I grew this dahlia from seed. I grew a lot of dahlias from seed this year. And this one is so beautiful. I definitely want to keep seed from it for next year. So this is what it looks like when the plant is in seed production. So right here used to look like this. And what I'm waiting for is for this to dry up completely. I want it to be bone dry. Once it's bone dry, then you can cut that seed head off and then separate that seed from any of the other material. And I'll do another video when I'm harvesting seeds from this. This plant is not quite ready for me to harvest seeds. Right here we have Cleome, and this plant is so beautiful. I've grown this from seed for several years, and you can see here sticking out of the side are seed pods. And I've already harvested seeds from my Cleome this year, so I will, as this plant dries out, I will continue to harvest seed. But here's one that's getting close to being harvestable. The seed pods have started to turn yellow, and pretty soon they'll be brown and I'll be able to harvest. Down here we have seed pods that are brown, are dry, and it just cracked right open for me right there. And they are harvestable. Once those seed pods start to crack, you can go ahead and take those seeds. This is Gomphrena. And Gomphrena is so gorgeous. It's such like a little pom-pom of a flower. Gomphrena is also used for tea. I don't know if you guys have had any yet. I have not tried it, but I've seen it in the stores. So these are dried snapdragon seed pods. This snapdragon actually overwintered from last year, and this year it was so much bigger and better. Once those seed pods dry up, they are more ready to open for you and be harvestable. The key is allowing them to dry down to the point where you can harvest them and they not have opened and spilled all over the ground before you can get to them. So it's a fine line, but you just have to keep an eye on the plants, on the seed pods. So what helps me be able to save seeds is keeping an eye on my plants. Knowing when the right time is to collect seeds. One of the things that you want to make sure is that your seeds are dry, that the seed pods have completely dried. That's the way to make sure that your seeds don't rot or spoil over the winter time. Another good tip is to collect seeds from plants that are doing well. You don't want to take seeds from a plant that has been sick or has had, disease or intense pest pressure. You want to make sure that you're collecting from plants that have been healthy, that are blooming beautifully, and they are specimens that you want to carry forth to the next growing season. Now, I'm not a breeder. This is just stuff that I have learned along the way, learned from other people, and have implemented in my own garden. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know if you have any questions about seed saving. Everything that I've learned is from hands-on learning in my own garden and watching other gardeners, learning from other people who have done it before me, better than me. And so all I want to do is just share information. So let me know if you guys have any questions, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!